Awards. I liked Mr. Tushman's speech, but I have to admit, I kind of zoned out during a little of the other speeches. I turned in again as Miss Rubin started reading off the names of the kids who had made high honor roll because we were supposed to stand up when our names were called. So I waited and listened for my name as she went down the list alphabetically. Reed Kingsley, Maya Markowitz, August Pullman. I stood up, and then when she finished reading the names, she asked us all to face the audience and take a bow, and everyone applauded. I had no idea where in that huge crowd my parents might be sitting. All I could see were the flashes of light coming from people taking photos and parents waving at their kids. I pictured Mom waving at me from somewhere, though I couldn't see her. Then Mr. Tushman came back on the podium to present the medals for academic excellence, and Jack was right. Zinema Chin won the gold medal for overall academic excellence in the 5th grade. Charlotte won silver. Charlotte also won a gold medal for music. Amos won a medal for overall excellence in sports, which I was really happy about because ever since the nature retreat, I considered Amos to be one of my best friends in school. But I was really thrilled when Mr. Tushman called out Summer's name for the gold medal in creative writing. I saw Summer put her hand over her mouth when her name was called, and when she walked up onto the stage, I yelled, "Woohoo, Summer," as loudly as I could, though I don't think she'd heard me. After the last name was called, all the kids who had just won awards stood next to each other on stage. And then Mr. Tushman said to the audience, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to present you this year Beecher Prep School Scholastic Achievers. Congratulations to all of you." I applauded as the kids on stage bowed. I was so happy for Summer. "The final award this morning," said Mr. Tushman, after the kids on stage had returned to their seats, "is the Henry Ward Beecher Medal of Honor to students who have been notable or exemplary in certain areas throughout the school year. Typically, this medal has been our way of acknowledging volunteerism or service to the school." I immediately figured Charlotte would get this medal because of the coat drive she organized this year, so I kind of zoned out for a bit again. I looked at my watch, 10:56. I was getting hungry for lunch already. Henry Ward Beecher was, of course, the 19th century abolitionist, a fiery sermonizer for human rights, for after them this school was named, Mr. Tushman was saying when I started paying attention again. While reading up his life in preparation for this award, I came upon a passage that he wrote that seemed particularly consistent with the themes I touched on earlier, themes I've been ruminating upon all year long. Not just the nature of kindness, but nature of one's kindness, the power of one's friendship, the test of one's character, the strength of one's courage. And here was the weirdest thing that happened. Mr. Tushman's voice cracked a little, like he got all choked up. He actually cleared his throat, took a big sip of water. I started paying attention for real now to what he was saying. "The strength of one's courage," he repeated quietly and nodding. He held up his hand like he was counting. "Courage, kindness, friendship, character. Those are the qualities that define us as human beings and propel us, on occasion, to greatness. This is what Henry Ward Beecher Medal is about, recognizing greatness. But how do we do that? How do we measure something like greatness? Again, there is no yardstick for that kind of thing. How do we even define it?" Well, Beecher actually had to answer for that. He put on his reading glasses again, leafed through a book, and started to read. "Greatness," wrote Beecher, "lies not in being strong, but in using the right strength. He who is greatest, whose strength carries up the most hearts." And again, out of the blue, he got all choked up. He put up 2 index fingers over his mouth and for a second before continuing. "He is the greatest," he continues, "whose strength carries up the most hearts by attraction of his own. Without further ado, I am proud to award the Henry Ward Beecher Medal to a student whose quiet strength has carried up the most hearts. So will August Pullman please come up to receive this award?"